is an encore presentation. Welcome to Joy of Business with host Simone Milasas, a dynamic business leader with a difference. Simone has founded and operated many businesses from a young age and has always done business differently. Today, Simone is the worldwide coordinator of Access Consciousness and travels the world presenting Joy of Business programs using access tools and empowering people to know that they can create business in a different way and make money doing it. Simone Milasas, weekly on OMTimes Radio.
Hi everybody, welcome to Joy of Business. You're on OMTimes with Simone Milasas, your host, as the advert just said. And I am here in Costa Rica, so excuse me if you hear the sound of birds and feel the sun beaming down on you in the tropics, but it's absolutely wonderful. I'm going to actually take a photo of where we're sitting and show you. So if you go onto our Facebook page, Joy of Business, you can have a look at what we are looking at because it's just absolutely stunning. So I'm also here with Francesca. Oh, she just took a photo of me and it's like I'm all sweaty and stuff. The view is stunning, but I'm not sure about me right now. So that's why radio is good. So I'm here with Francesca and I'm going to attempt to say her last name again. Fiorintini.
Fiorintini, perfect, Simone. You are stunning everywhere. But thank you for inviting here. And yes, true, guys. Here is stunning, amazing, and I'm so grateful to be here in Costa Rica with you, Simone, and with all the Access team. And yeah,
it's awesome. So we're actually here. Access Consciousness has some 7-day events throughout the year, and we have one in Costa Rica in October, which is it's just amazing. I mean, we get to ride horses every morning, and we get to go 7 days. We have a free-form class. This one's called Possibilities Beyond, with Gary Douglas and Jane here doing sessions, and there's people from all over the world come. And my favorite thing is that you have to have done a whole bunch of access to actually come to these 7-day events, and it's by invite only, so it is more of an advanced class. But the beauty of that is as well, you have every single person who flies in here from all over the world is actually asking for something more in their life. And it's like they're seeking something different. And to me, that is the beauty about going to these 7-day events. So like I said, we're in Costa Rica. Our next one is in February in South Africa, which I keep dreaming about that place. It's so funny. It's like I keep having these dreams of well, did you know that a whole bunch of zebras together is called a dazzle? So a dazzle of zebras or the wildebeest like running or something like that, and I see lions and everything. But it's amazing. The seminar is actually in the middle of a reserve. They obviously have a gated area so we don't get the leopards and lions coming in and knocking on the front door. Yeah. But it's so beautiful. You go on safaris early in the morning. And then our third one is in New Zealand at a beautiful place called the Chateau, which I just like saying the Chateau. And, yeah, it's stunning. Last year it snowed, which was awesome. The kids loved it. So, again, 7-day events, people traveling from all over the world. So if you're interested in finding out more about Access Consciousness, go check out accessconsciousness.com. There's I think we've got almost 3,000 facilitators around the world now. There's areas that are growing so rapidly. And basically it's like if your life isn't looking like it should, like you know what is possible, like I know for myself, I walked around going, this can't be it. This cannot be it. There has to be more than this. And you look at this amazing, beautiful, stunning planet, and it's like, there's got to be something more than this. So that's what I sort of started to look at. And then, so I call it like the seekers of the world. And it's like, if you're seeking something different, check out accessconsciousness.com. So that's my long-winded little advert for Access Consciousness. And this is the Joy Business Show, which came from Access Consciousness. Because Gary was like, you have to do classes on this, Simone. You have such a different perspective on business. You see it as something that is joyful, as something that you can change all the time, as something that can be really, creative and generative, and something that actually contributes to your life. Now, that's one of the things that I wanted to invite Francesca on here today as well. So Francesca, if you didn't notice, has a beautiful, stunningly awesome Italian accent. She's from Venice, Italy, so I think is amazing. I mean, I don't know about you, but if you study history at school, it's like you don't think of anyone living in Venice.
Yeah.
It's just like this amazing, stunning place that has so much historical, value. But you actually grew up in Venice. What was that like?
So I was born there and I grew up there. And, Venice, as you talk about the history, has this long history in the centuries, and that they did business for 2,000 here, like 1,000 here. Mm-hmm. So you can perceive that business perspective, and like they were these small islands, and they were owning all the Adriatic Sea until the Turkey, and so they were doing this business with India, so exchanging goods and stuff. So you can still get it, the wellness and the business done different at that time, So growing there has been amazing for me, like in a city with tons of tourists, tons of different historical culture, like arts and music, and it's been like really being in Wonderland sometimes. I remember, first time we organized something in Venice with Access, and then here told me, oh, here Disney did a great job. It feels like that, something that is unreal, but actually it's real. So I grew up there, and I grew up with a family that had a lot of businesses with tourists and stuff. And as you talked before about Costa Rica and all the 7 days, that people are coming from all over the world, join here, and that they want to change something. And the connection with me growing in Venice is like meeting, since I was a kid, people from all over the world. Because when you meet people from all over the world, for example, they are coming to Venice for visiting and to do new experience. But they come and share their own experience with you, as we are doing here. Also in business, it's like their point of view, they're just how they be in a different way, because they are coming with their own culture. That's if you are willing to look at things in a different way, you can learn so much. So that was me, like small kid growing in the tourist place where people came there. And it was just,
I remember the story you telling me, because if you've ever been to Venice, you'll know what I'm talking about. Because there's no cars, right? So you walk everywhere. Which is one of the most, you grew up with it. You go, oh, yeah. But it is one of the most unusual things when you're just like, oh, hang on a second. There's no cars. You have to walk everywhere, and there's bridges everywhere. I tell you, if you're in a wheelchair or you've got to use crutches or something for some reason, then you just stay in your hotel. It's like, it's not that easy to get around. You need to have good, strong walking legs. So you can get water taxis around, okay? So, but it is an odd thing. And I remember you telling me this story about when you're a kid, and because there's all these little laneways and everything as well. Like when you're, I often stay at Airbnb places. So it's like you've got to, find where that, place is, where the venue is, and like there's no real map as such. It's like you sort of go recognize a shop and go, oh yeah, now I turn left. And Francesca told me when she was a kid, and her parents would be like, get her to walk to St. Marco Square and be like, yay, I made it! Like this little kid, she found, that was her point of reference, St. Marco Square. So actually one of the things I wanted to ask you about was with what I noticed in Venice is, yes, there is so many little islands. And what I know of, I might be incorrect here, but it was quite some time before they actually built the bridges from island to island. So in truth, each little island, and I'm talking small, like the squares sort of thing, they used to create their whole communal living within that one place. Like most of them have like a well in the middle. Yeah. And that's where they got their water from. And then they would have
their own church, their own like garden where they have vegetables and stuff. So that's true. We are, if I'm wrong now, it's like almost around 200 small islands altogether, probably more, or 400. Anyway, sorry for that. I will check it out. And as you say, that's interesting because before they built the bridges to connect one to each other, they were doing like a ferry with a small boat from one side of the channel to the other one. That's actually, if you check it out, Venice, the channel are not so big. And then how do they think about, okay, how can we exchange more with the other islands, with the small islands? Okay, let's build these bridges. And the rich people, the aristocratic people, choose to, because every island has their own aristocratic person, the most, so they choose to build this bridge to connect easily the people and exchange the goods better. And people had to pay to cross it. But had to pay since the whole amount that costed to build it will be paid, So it was like really a creation of, okay, I give you the possibility to exchange more, and then they invest the money to have them back. And then when the bridge final to be paid, it will be free. It has been free. So this is really like a point of view to think of for the future in a different way, And that's where we're talking about the 13th century. So it's really like.
So the bridges, they've been paid off now.
Yeah, you can go,
Someone's made their money back, I hope. Or otherwise, if they're still charging money, then they're making a very decent profit. So, but I'd love that because it's like, it shows so if you have a look at where you are in business today, and it's like what's happening and where you are and the choices that you're making, the one thing I keep getting recently too is how much every single choice creates a different awareness and creates something different. It's like every single choice you make, every single morning, every single lunchtime, every single time you go to bed, and it's like the mood you wake up in. And it's like, do you wake up grateful? Do you wake up cranky? Do you wake up, whining about money? Or do you wake up asking how you can create more? Do you wake up asking if you can have more revenue streams, or thinking that your business is failing or succeeding? And it's like, we've spoken about this for years and years and years. And it's like, people call it the mindset. People call it all these different things. What I would like you to look at if you're listening to this is what choices are you making today? And it's like, what choices could you make today that if you made them would change your entire reality, including your business? And everything that is times a godzillion where you destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. If you want to find out more about the clearing statement, you can go to our new website, accessjoyofbusiness.com, or also to theclearingstatement.com, all from Access Consciousness. It works. And it's like, you know what, if you look at, like I said, how did you wake up this morning? Did you wake up happy? Did you wake up sad? Did you wake up angry? Did you wake up grateful? What if you could turn everything into gratitude? What would your life be like? What would your business be like? What would your money flows be like? What would your currency flows be like? And it's like, what choices could you make and would you make to take that initiative? And it's like, are you trying to do business the same as everyone else? Or what would you choose in business if you could choose? Because guess what? You can. These guys really took the initiative. And if you've been there, it's not a great distance. You almost feel like you could jump from side to side, like if you ran and jumped to the other island. So it's not this huge distance. So they've built these like small bridges. And it's like, so originally someone's doing this boat back and, to and fro. And it's like, and then someone decides to do and we're off to a break. So then someone decides to do the bridge. And it's like, it's showing the initiative. So what initiative could you be showing? We'll be back really soon. Enjoy business. Simone and Francesca.
Are you ready to end the struggle with money, get more clarity, and start having more? In her upcoming teleclass based on the How to Become Money workbook, Simone Milasas and Brendan Watt give you completely different perspectives, tools, and techniques to change the way you've been functioning with money. Join Simone, founder and creator of Joy of Business, and Brendan for the How to Become Money teleclass by going to accessjoyofbusiness.com/money workbook.
Host your show on IOM-FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM-FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Hi, this is Sylvia Henderson, intuitive life coach and energy healer. Are you ready to elevate and rise way above your normal? Be sure to listen to my show, Intuitive Transformations, on OMTimes Radio, Sunday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern. Get the inspiration you need to transform your life.
The number one reason girls drop out of school in sub-Saharan Africa is lack of access to feminine hygiene products. The Pads for Schoolgirls Project, an outreach of Humanity Healing International, is changing this paradigm by setting up sewing programs at schools, teaching girls a vocational skill while producing the reusable pads that help keep them attending classes. The girls pay it forward by making and giving pad kits to other girls in need. To learn more, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is. The cutting edge of conscious radio. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hi everybody, welcome back. You're with Simone Milasas and Francesca Fiorintini. So, hey, hardly anyone ever gets my name right either, so how does it get any better than that? And you always enjoy business. And now we're talking about business done different. We're talking about business done where? We're talking about business in Venice, Italy at the moment. So, and it's just one of the most striking places for me to have been and seeing the difference. So one of the things, too, I'd love you guys to get is the difference that the whole entire world is. I mean, like we told you before, we're sitting in Costa Rica, and it's like the way they do business is completely different to the way business is done in, you know, California, to Texas, to Canada, to Italy, to Australia. And it's like, what if you're willing to perceive, know, be, and receive the way everybody does business around the entire globe, okay? So right now, it's like if you just let your barriers down, and it's like keep pushing them down, more, and ask, what energy, space, and consciousness can I be that would allow me to perceive, know, be, and receive business globally? And everything that doesn't allow that to show up, destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyond. So I'll run that process one more time. And what you want to do is you can actually write it down and put it on a loop and listen to it over and over again, okay? So what energy, space, and consciousness can you be that would allow you to perceive, know, be, and receive business globally? And everything that doesn't allow that to show up, where you destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyond. Now, the thing is, it's like, why are you running that? Why are you asking for that? Well, in Access Consciousness, we talk about you as an infinite being should be able to perceive, know, be, and receive everything. So that means no judgment. That means being in total interesting point of view of everything that comes along and the willingness to receive it. So you don't have a judgment. So you're not like, oh, well, they do business in Italy, you know, in a dodgy way, or Australia's too relaxed, or in Costa Rica it's always Tico time. You know, it's like, okay, so that's the way they do it. But if you're willing to receive all of that, then you can actually receive greater possibilities. Now, if you've also decided that your business is like a California business or something like that, and it's like, then how are you actually going to receive clients from all over the world? So you've got to be willing to receive, perceive, know, be, and receive globally. So everything at that is time to Godzilla, we destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyond.
Thank you for saying that, Simone, because I got it. When you have a fixed point of view about something, how is the business, for example, you talk about California or whatever, so you are no more willing to look at the possibility that, for example, or the greatness that the California business has, or the Costa Rican one. So here you say, okay, they are not doing a lot, there is a siesta time all the time, but just looking at them, how happy they are, and how they, you know, for me it's like an invitation to invite more happiness in my business. But I just related, before came in here, I had like a lunch with all the family. I have nephews, the older is 26, and he's like, in this moment, oh, we have lack of money, we have lack of possibility in Italy, you know, I'm doing shitty work, sorry, all this stuff. And everyone was fighting with him, you know, like his mother was like, no, because you need to do that. You need to will be willing to pay you for your rent and go away and all this stuff. And I was just listening to them. Then I look, when they just asked me a question, because it's like this reality in Italy, we have problem, you know, like not a lot of work, not a lot of money. But I say, okay, look, if you are still looking at the lack of money, the lack of possibility, and the lack of, you know, for this young generation, what this will create in the future? What would you like? I just start asking to them, my nephews, and say, what would you like to create in your life? You know, my mother is still supporting me, and I am quite 40, but and my mom looked at me and I said, that's true, but I'm independent, but you are still supporting me. So what does it mean that the mom or the parents doesn't have any more to support you, you know? And also, what would you like to create in your future? And they look at me was like, oh, because I have a choice? That's the thing. guys, you have choice. You have choice, and every choice you do, like, and every, as Simone said, ask a question about your business and it will show up new possibilities for you. So that's the thing. And I get that people that are doing business in a linear way, at the moment, for example, talking about Italy, they judge so much really about what, if you don't have the degrees, for example, we're talking about that, you couldn't become like a hotel director, or you couldn't become there because you don't have like a really degrees. What if you are just following your knowing and what is fun for you? That's what happened in my life, almost. I already talked about my experience. So I met my ex-husband when I was 18, and then at 19 I was dealing with bank director, and I didn't have any degrees about it. I was just dealing with them, with our debts and stuff, and with when we were buying clothes for our shop, I was dealing with the companies that we had. So and I acknowledged just right after knowing you and looking at your story that you did so much things in your life without, having the real degrees.
No, well, one of the things that I was just talking about this the other day to someone, I think we're very lucky in Australia as well, because you don't have to have a degree to actually be successful. Whereas, I was talking to a wonderful, wonderful man called Ashton in Texas, and he's actually Gary and Dane's assistant, and he's going to college because that's pretty much what you have to do in America. It's like you have to have a degree, otherwise you end up working in McDonald's or something. So it's like, but in Australia, it's like unless you want to be like a doctor or a lawyer or something that actually requires the degree, you don't have to have it. So it's very interesting. It's like, so what if, though, you function from that point of view anyway and ask yourself, what do I know about business that I've been refusing to acknowledge, that if I didn't refuse to acknowledge it, would actually show up with great ease? And everything as that is, times a godzillion, destroy and uncreate it, right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine, shorts, boys and beyond. So did you even hear me when I said that? So it's like, what would you have to acknowledge? Like, what do you know? The tagline of Access Consciousness is empowering you to know that you know. And it's like, you can look up some hashtags, know that you know, and it's like, it's got all these different quotes from Gary Douglas, who's the founder of Access Consciousness. Because the thing is, and it's like, you came into this world and you knew so much. And it's like, how often did that get taken away from you? I know at school, and it's like you're always taught to have the answer. And if you didn't show the answer the way the teacher wanted you to have it, you were considered wrong. Like, that's what was projected at you. What if you were never wrong? What if you were never right? And what if you never had the answer, and yet you always had the question? It's like, what questions could you ask today in business that could change everything? What questions could you ask in your life? I know yesterday, it's like I was lucky enough to walk around this beautiful, beautiful property in Costa Rica called El Lugar, which we're actually purchasing, and we're creating it. Part of it's not for profit and part of it's for business, and we're going to have horses there, and we'll have a resort there, and people will be able to go there and ride and just be with the earth. And if you have a place in the world that's like that for you, like yesterday I was lucky enough to be there on my own for 2 hours, and it started to rain. There was lightning. It was like, I could hear the howler monkeys and the lightning was going off and I was getting wet, and it was just so beautiful and so stunning. And I'd had a bit of stuff going on for myself lately, especially in my body. So I found that I haven't been as joyful as what I usually am. I've been sort of short-tempered. And after walking around this property for 2 hours, it's like the gratitude came back. And it's like, because you know what? The earth has no judgment. It's like the earth has no expectations of you. It's just actually willing to have this joy of awareness. And it's like, that's what you can have as well. It's like, so if you have a place like that, and it's like, well, ask for a place like that to show up. It might be jumping in the ocean for you or walking in the woods. And it's like, yes, you should be able to, create that sort of choice and frame of mind when you're anywhere. I always say the day before, Christmas in a shopping mall, you should be able to have that. And yet sometimes it's easier when you're just hanging out with a bunch of trees. So find that place. And it's like, if you're not grateful today, it's like, what if you could make a different choice and actually become grateful for what you have created, who you are, who you're being, And it's like who you're surrounded by. Like I'm surrounded by some of the most amazing people in the world. And it's like, so for me to not have joy in my life and to be a little bit grumpy and stuff was not working for me. It was like, okay, cool. Got stuff going on with your body? Okay, let's change that and see what we can create. So there's a different way to create your life. And it's like, and if you look at the history of business, is what we've been talking about as well. It's interesting, as we were saying when we were going up to the last break, to look at the people who have actually taken the initiative to change something, to create something. Because quite often those people were not, I like the way Francesca says acknowledged. It's very cute. That they weren't acknowledged in their lifetime. Or they weren't acknowledged at the time that they came up with an idea. Yet, what did they do? They received all the projections, they received the judgments, and they kept creating what they were creating. So what if you kept creating what you were creating? What if you knew, going back to that knowing, what if you knew that something else was possible? What if you knew that you could create something greater on this planet? What if you knew a different way to make money? What if you knew a different way to actually do and be business? It's one of the things I was incredibly grateful for when I met Gary Douglas, and it's like I listened to him and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the way that people should be doing business. So you might want to check out a call that Gary's got too. It's 12 steps to creating the business that you deserve. You can actually buy it on the Access Consciousness website. I think you can buy it on Access Joy Business too. I'm not sure. We'll check it out. So, and we're about to go off to the next break. But as we go off to the next break as well, I just wanted to tell you about a telecall that I'm actually having with my partner, Brendan Watt. And it's on the 12th, 13th and 14th, or if you're in America, 13th, 14th and 15th of November. And it's actually based on the How to Become Money workbook. So you have to purchase the How to Become Money workbook first. And then we're going to go through it 3 days in a row. And it's like about 75 minutes each telecall. And see if we can change some of the points of view that you currently have around money. Now, I did this a while ago, and it was really interesting because it asks you questions like, you know, what does money feel like to you? What does it smell like, etc. And I'd been doing business in India a lot. So my point of view was I didn't want to touch it. It was dirty. It's like because I'd been playing with rupees, and there's so many notes there. So I felt like Macbeth, always trying to wash the dirt off my, you know, the blood off my hands, the dirty money. So it's like, but if I have that point of view, am I ever actually going to create more money? The answer is no. So what point of view do you have around money that if you could change it, would change your entire reality? Okay? So it's a class with Brendan Watt and myself, Simone Milasas. You can find on accessjoyofbusiness.com.
And where they can find the book? Where they can find the book, it's on Access Shop and also on the registration page on accessjoyofbusiness.com for, yeah.
Excellent. And it's $300 to do the actual 3 days. And I can pretty much say that I would be very shocked if your point of view around money didn't change after you actually did that class. And here we are. We're off to the break. I knew it was coming really soon. So you'll be joined by Francesca and myself, Simone Milasas, after this break and with some more tools from Joy of Business and Access Consciousness. Thanks for joining us.
Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
Radio Namaste leads you down the yellow brick road into portals of consciousness with the blue-collar goddess as your host. Interviews with humans who could be famous or just popular, and answers to everything are on the agenda. Tune into OMTimes Radio and drop in on Thursdays at 3 Eastern. It's a different brand of enlightenment.
Host your show on IOM-FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM-FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Would your business and life like to be bigger? Would you like to have more fun with everything you do? Simone Milasas travels the world facilitating Joy of Business seminars These classes are for you if you would like to create more money and joy, expand your business, and work smarter, not harder. Join her live or watch the online seminar from the comfort of your own home. Go to www.accessjoyofbusiness.com.
Connecting you with the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Welcome back, everybody. You're with Joy Business. You're with Simone Milasas, your host, and we're in the lovely Costa Rica, and I'm joined by the lovely Francesca, who is also a Joy Business facilitator, and she works on a team, so lives in Europe but travels the world and has got a whole bunch of Joy Business 101 classes happening in Italy soon. So if you've always wanted to go to Italy and you Italian, you want to go over there? Please check it out. She's also going to be doing Italian 101. So if you actually desire to learn Italian, you can also contact us. You can also, if you have any questions or any desire for any certain shows that you want on Joy Business, email us at omtimes@accessjoyofbusiness.com. If you have any requests or anything like that or questions about the show, omtimes@accessjoyofbusiness.com. But she'll be actually doing an Italian 101 class. It's going to be on the Access Consciousness School side, so which started off as a school for kids and has turned into a language school, a fashion school, many different things.
I am planning to do it at the end of January. I will schedule the date I will know the date in 2 days. And, what if you want to start to communicate, and, it's a basic one. I would love to have fun in teaching this 101 in Italian and share with you guys the love that I have for my language. And, if you want to have a sex accent, why not? Learn a bit of Italian. So
can you say something for me? Say 5,555.
5,555.
How sexy is that? I think that's absolutely adorable. So Italian is a very sexy language. So it is 101, so you don't need to speak any Italian whatsoever. And Francesca was actually talking to my son this morning, and she looks like a fabulous teacher. So if that's something that you want to start the new year with, you can find Francesca on the Access Joy Business site as well, and you can find out more details and start that Italian 101.
Yeah.
So let's go back to business, because everything's always about business, though. That's what I look at. And it's like, where are you not willing to look at your entire life is actually your business? Even when you go on vacation, anything that you do is your business. And it's like every choice you make is your business. Your business is your life, and your life is your business. So what are some of the inspirations you've had of growing up in Venice, Italy? I know you speak about your dad very fondly, Francesca.
My dad was such a contribution for me. And, I grew up in a family. They had different businesses. My mother is more the secure part of the business. She's running the business. She's amazing, but wake up every morning, doing the same things all day, and she supports the families. She has supported, and she still supports the family. My father was like the crazy mind, like the visionary. I can go in New Zealand and create something, and whatever. He's always was like trying to create something new. And the inspiration for me was really like he has been this financial man, working in a bank, working for financial wellness, and then he opened also an antique shop, has been like a director on a big hotel. So he did so many things, and everything he did has been great. And the inspiration for me, like him, is like follow your awareness, follow what is fun for you. And at the same time, the component that probably he missed and he didn't have really was about the gratitude that you talked about before. Every time, you receive judgment from others that you are not doing the right things, you have no degrees, or, wow, you are a visionary, what are you thinking about, right? And what if every time comes up a judgment? What if you are, like, really thinking about something that you are grateful for, your business, all around, and because every time you're inviting gratitude, the judgment goes away. So and keep growing, your awareness, keep growing about what you would like to create. And actually what changed, what has been looking at me as a kid, was like really looking at all these people running around and and looking at what they were creating with the fun. And I now that I'm enjoying business facilitators, and I did a lot of other, I lost so many money in my life too, and now I'm again creating a lot. So I'm just really.
So can I stop you for 1 second there, because I want to ask you a question, because a lot of the times when people lose money or a business doesn't succeed, the first thing that they do is go into, oh, I can't do this, or I can't give it another shot, or I'm a failure, or they go into judgment of them and the wrongness of them. So did that happen with you or not happen with you, or what did you do different?
Oh, what I did different. Actually, sometimes happened, like I was a failure or I am a failure or whatever. But there was still this component, like now I recognize it was the joy of what I was doing, and I say, no, I was always thinking something else is possible. And then I found Access Consciousness as all the tools that really let me look at where all my point of view that I have about money. So the thing that if I had a lot of money, I was safe. So I didn't really want to succeed so much. Also, we were talking about before, so I wasn't really willing that people look at me as a successful person.
Why not?
It was like too much, now I'm totally fine with that. For me, it was too much. I will be being more than my mom, being more than my sister, being more than everyone. For me, was too much.
Okay, so then how many people out there listening have that same point of view, that you cannot be more successful than everyone in your family? I know I had that for quite some time too, and it's like when I realized that I was making more money than anyone else in my family, and it was like, oh, okay. And I realized that there was this energy where I almost stopped it. And it was like, no, what if it wasn't about stopping it? What if it was about receiving it? So everywhere that you're trying to diminish your capacities, your abilities to receive money, to make money, to have fun with money, have fun with business, generate, create business, truth, where you destroy and uncreate it. And follow what you know, as Francesca's been saying, and choose what you know. Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine, shorts, boys and beyonds.
And also be willing. So I was like, I'm organizing events and helping organize events for Access too, and enjoy business. And once a director of a hotel called me, oh, Miss Dr. Fiorintini, would you like to? And I said, doctor? Initially, it was like, well, as I had a degree, and I was willing to receive that. Okay, yes, I am here. Let's talk about it, because it's like, it was so weird for me. And I said, no, I can let them think that I am a doctor. It doesn't matter. It makes me more,
right?
Yeah, have more ease in my job. So, and that was, the thing to not be, was to not be more than my family. Then now, before coming here, I was still, oh my God, all this money that I'm investing, the plane to go to Costa Rica and whatever. And then I was just asking to myself, who I'm being, what I'm not willing to receive. So how many times you guys are you choosing something and investing something for your life, like money, and then you are doubting of yourself. So how much there's doubt is not yours, it belongs to someone else. It's reality to, the thing that you happen to be a dreamer, you have to be a solid person, like with...
Gross. So, and it's true. And it's like, so everywhere that you go into doubt of what you're creating, where you destroy and uncreate it, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine, shorts, boys and beyonds. Because in Access Consciousness, we actually refer to doubt as one of the distractor implants. So if you're going into doubt, it's actually designed to distract you from what you could truly be choosing. Now, as Francesca was referring to, one of the greatest, my favorite tools of Access is asking, who does this belong to? Or who am I being? Because it's like, Francesca making these choices and then starting to doubt it. It's like, who am I being? It's like, what projections and expectations, separations, judgments and separations are you buying, and who from? And it's like, so everything that is, you don't need to work out that it's like Aunt Mary or your mother or whoever it is. You just need to be able to destroy and uncreate it, and you can just say pock and pod, or right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pod, all nine, shorts, boys and beyonds. And then take a moment and ask yourself, and it's like, if I was choosing my reality, what would I choose?
And if you don't have the answer, doesn't matter. Keep asking. You will receive. You receive an awareness, or a phone call from someone that makes you happy, and another work offer, or a business possibility. So we are not looking for answers. We are really looking for awarenesses. And, you know, I always, I like to say that an awareness make you happy. And something is not an awareness make you sad. It's like really, or whatever, so light or heavy, and another thing that every time you are choosing something for your business, you can really change. You are working in a team, and Simone is such an amazing leader. How she leads us as a team on Joy of Business, and also all the Access team, is something unbelievable. Because it's like she gives us the freedom of choosing every time for us what makes us happy. So what do you say all the time? So I wanted that your job or your business is, or business with your business or business with Access is every day a choice. It's not something that you have to, right?
Yeah.
So what if we are looking at our businesses, our work, and really asking, is this a choice or is it something that I have to? You know, all the time. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that, because it's like one of the things that I've tried to empower everyone that works with me to ask every day. It's like, is this a choice or is it a necessity? Because if you make work or your job a necessity, you'll end up sort of begrudgingly doing it. And it's like, so if it is anywhere in your work or your life or your business that you sort of like, and you sort of get this like grrr energy, and it's like, ask, okay, have I created this as a necessity rather than a choice? Because as we've been talking about today, it's like you actually have choice in every area of your life. Anytime that you find yourself saying, you know, oh, if I had a choice or I didn't have a choice, stop. Because guess what? You did have a choice. You do have a choice. So it's like even with your work, and it's like look at it every day and go, okay, so if this is not a choice, what could I do to change that? Like there could even be it doesn't mean you have to leave the job, but it's like there could be an area that is changing, or it's like you might want something to look slightly different. And it's like, but if you're not willing to ask those questions, then you can't actually change something, and you can't have, as Francesca was saying, it's like the joy of awareness. It's like the joy of awareness should be in every moment of every day.
Yeah. And sometimes it doesn't really look so joyful. You may know what I mean. It's like the joy of awareness, I don't feel very good here in this area. That could be also joy awareness, because like you can ask something different and say, okay, if I'm not so joyful here, if I'm like, this doesn't work for me, cool, how can I change it, as you say before? So it's really, and also you can change your choice and every time. If you do a choice now, it hasn't to be for all your life, you know. You can slightly change and meet new people, and really, so that's and I try, and if you keep trying, asking this question about your business, about all the area of your life, just try for, 1 week. Look if something change. The Roth scenario never would change, like Roth than that couldn't be. Just try.
Exactly. So we're going to be heading up to a break, and we'll come back with some tools that you can try over that week of actually changing any area of your life and business that is not looking the way you would like it to look like. Have you bought into the idea that you have to work hard for your money, that business is hard? I will share some dynamic access consciousness tools to get you out of your own way so you can create a business that actually succeeds. Join me, Simone Milasas, on The Joy of Business at 4 p.m. Mondays Eastern.
As difficult as it is to believe, there are places in Africa where human traffickers sell albino children and their body parts for use in magic rituals. Humanity Healing International is actively working in Uganda to change this paradigm. The Albino Rescue Project finds albino children who are at risk and places them in safe schools and environments where they can learn and grow free from fear. To learn more or to sponsor a child, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is. Are you trying to get from point A to point B and need a little advice? Connect with the counselors at OMTimes Advisors. Whether you're looking for a life coach or a spiritual intuitive, the advisors participating at advisors.omtimes.com were carefully chosen based on their gifts, skills, and professionalism. OMTimes Advisors, connecting you with the best advisors in the business. Join Elliot Jolish, the Joy of Business Mastermind, at 4 p.m. Mondays Eastern. Have you bought into the idea that you have to work hard for your money, that business is hard? Join Elliot Jolish the business therapist each Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern for the Elliot Jolish Hour as he interviews business experts on your behalf. And you're invited to email your business questions to questions@ecjgroup.com for answers, live, on air every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on the Elliot Jolish Hour. Your conscious connection to a more mindful world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. You Enjoy Business with Simone Milasas, your host, joined by the lovely Francesca Fiorintini. And we've been talking about the joy of awareness in business and, started off talking about, Francesca being in Venice, Italy, etc. And the way business is done different in different places. If you want to join in on our Facebook group, on the hashtag #BusinessDoneWhere and send us the pictures of where you're doing business. Because most of the time people think, oh yeah, everyone does business in these places. No, they don't. And it's like I think if we can get a good picture, we'll put it up on our Facebook of where we're actually doing business right now and hashtag it #BusinessDoneWhere. Okay? It's like, are you in the hairdressers getting your hair done? And it's like, what is that? She just took a photo right there, live. You'll be able to see it on our Facebook page. So business done where? So what we wanted to do on this last break is actually give you some pragmatic tools that you can take away to create more awareness. Because every time you have an awareness, and it's like there's a sense of joy. Now, as Francesca was saying before, it doesn't have to be like this happy awareness. It could be an awareness that is like a bit confronting or a bit sort of harder to deal with. But if you have a look at it and you're willing to not go into judgment and you're willing to, not go into doubt, and it's like, every time you have an awareness of anything, it's like even if you look at a relationship and a relationship isn't working and you finally admit it and go, you know what, this actually isn't working. There is a joy that you're actually willing to have that awareness because once you have the awareness, you can change anything. If you are not willing to be aware, then you cannot change it, okay? That's rule number one. And it's like if you're being oblivious, if you're ignoring things and it's like it's not going to go away and it's like you've got to be willing to be aware. So, even I was mentioning earlier, I've had some bit of intensity going on in my body in different areas, and I've been running the process of what do I need to be aware of, that if I was willing to be aware of it, would change my entire reality, including my body. And everything as that is times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. So you could also run that with what do I need to be aware of, that if I was willing to be aware of it, could change my entire reality, including my business. And everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. Okay, a bit of energy on that. I'm going to run that one more time. So what do you need to be aware of that if you're willing to be aware of it would change your entire reality, including your business? And everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. So, Francesca, what are some of the tools that you've used to create more of that joy of awareness?
So, to increase my joy of awareness, also, as we talked before, just try to, I was keeping doing the things, this process, but just ask who does belong to. At every thought, feelings, and emotion, and, also situation, whatever that you feel, just ask who does belong to without point of view, and try for 3 days, and then what I'm getting is all the time more space in my mind and more space to look at the joy or awarenesses that I'm looking for. Just try or.
And, if you want to actually get a ringtone that says who this belongs to, you can go to iTunes and look up the author or whatever it's called is Xan, which is Xan. And you can look up what else is possible or who does it belong to. And I have that as my alarm clock every morning. So when it wakes up, there's a friend of ours, little kid, going, who does it belong to? Who does it belong to? Which is really great because it takes you out of any place that you're sitting there in judgment or frustration.
And how much fun can you have just using these tools, and look at how things can change in your life, in your business, in your relationship. And also another thing that really helped me so much, help me and keep helping every time. It's, how much we talk about judgment and, oh, damn, I did this wrong, this happened in the wrong way that I didn't think it could. Just ask. if you're saying that something is wrong, it's like, okay, you're just asking to show you that someone, to see the wrongness there, but just ask, what is right about this I'm not getting? That's another fabulous question, that fabulous tool of Access and Enjoy Business too. We use so much. What I'm getting, what is right about this I'm not getting, what is right about my business I'm not getting, what is right about me I'm not getting. So you are really willing to ask for, the right awareness that you are not, like you are not looking at. And this just changed so much my reality.
So tell me about some of the stuff that has changed for you, actually asking these questions and using these tools.
How many times we are working in some project, for example, and then like something happened that you didn't expect, and I was, instead of saying, oh my gosh, I did wrongly here, looking where I did wrong or who else did wrong here. Just asking this question came up so many times, awareness, that, for example, I hadn't to be there for a reason because someone else called me and increased the other parts of the business. So, or how many times we are doing technical things and what happened also with me and you, that the line didn't work or the setup of the line didn't work, I don't know. So instead of asking who did wrong here, who didn't do the right things, just asking what is right about this, we get it at probably and then we create another telecalls I remember for India, for example. Mm-hmm. They create more, just not for India, but for the entire world. So it's really be willing to look at that nothing is wrong.
So what I'm getting to, and it's like, I know I use these tools all the time as well, Francesca, and it's like, if you are willing to ask these questions of what's right about this I'm not getting, what's right about my business I'm not getting, or what's right about me I'm not getting, and it's like, what you're doing is you're taking yourself out of judgment, so you're not sitting in judgment of what didn't go according to plan. And I mean, and if you look at this as an example, when does your life ever go according to plan? It's like if you wake up in the morning and you go, okay, so I'm going to get, XYZ run and it's going to look like this. Does it ever look like that? Or does something always show up and it looks completely different? It's like cooking a meal and expecting it to be exactly the same as the last time. And it's like it doesn't show up like that. So do you judge it or do you just move on and go, okay, so now what am I going to play with? So you've got to be willing to ask questions, not go to judgment. It's like this is not about judging you, not about judging your business. And it's like, say you didn't meet what you've decided, which is your expectations of the monetary value that's supposed to show up that week, your budget or something like that, which is a whole other topic that we can talk about. That it's like destroy and uncreate the projections and the expectations, the separations and the judgments that you have of you and your business. And everything that is, times a gazillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And now what would you choose? Like Francesca said, it's like, technology. And it's like, sometimes it goes a bit haywire. And it's like, okay, so now what can we create? What do we have to do different? What other choices could we make? So see what we're doing? We're actually asking questions. And it's so imperative to keep asking questions because every time you ask a question, something else can show up. If you go to answer and you go to wrongness and you go to judgment, you've just killed future possibilities. So all the future possibilities that you've destroyed, where you destroy and uncreate it, right and wrong, good and bad, pock and pod, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So what else, Francesca? What's another tool that we can give people about creating more awareness in their business and more importantly, their life? But as I said before, I think their business is their life and their life is their business.
Exactly. Business is everything. When you are going to buy food for your family, that's business too. You are around the family business. Another question, another tool that it's really, instead of looking or we talked about instead of looking what is wrong, asking what is right about this and not getting. But every time we would like to change something, we look at the thing that is not going good, instead of looking that, what if you just ask into your business, okay, this doesn't work so well as I thought, as I was. So what would I add to my business that will empower it, and make it like the business that I desire to. So also another question.
You desire and you deserve. You were going to say deserve, and it's true. It's like you desire it and you deserve it. everywhere that you don't think you deserve a great, fantastic, successful, awesome, fun, joyful business where you destroy and uncreate it, right and wrong, good and bad, pop and parona, and shorts, boys and beyond.
So that's the thing, exactly. So all the things that, what can I add to my business that will make it greater? And it could be, also a partner in business, hire someone for a few hours a week, like really being willing to. Sometimes we don't want to share our business with someone else, or we don't think it will be possible to have an assistant. But also, I was thinking the same, and now I'm looking at and who and what can I add to my business that will make it greater. Also to business, your life. Your life is your business. So it's both.
Great question, though. I love that. Who and what can I add to my business that will make it greater? And it's like, and you're actually allowed to ask for people to show up who know more than you. Now, this is a hard one for those control freaks out there, but you've got to be willing to ask for people who are better than you and know more than you, because guess what? They can contribute more to your business if you're willing to ask those questions. So I just want to mention once more, because I'd love to invite you all on the in America time, 13th, 14th, and 15th, or if you're somewhere else in the world like Australia and in the future, 12th, 13th, and 14th of November, is the How to Become Money workbook call with myself and Brendan Watt. And you can find more out about that on accessjoyofbusiness.com. Just search Simone Milasas and search the classes, and you'll find it in there. You do have to purchase the book beforehand, and I'd love it if you could, read through the book beforehand. But if not, you can do it during the class. That's okay. And I know it will change at least 5 of your points of view around money. Okay? At least 5. Now, something else that we have going on with Joy Business at the moment is the 6 impossible things before breakfast challenge. So check it out on our Facebook and on our website, 6 impossible things before breakfast. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Francesca. Thanks, Simone. Thanks to everyone.
Free your mind with OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.